Here we have a new 2024 Cadillac XT6. This one comes in the sport trim level with all-wheel drive. This color is stellar black metallic, and then we have jet black perforated leather interior. So not a lot of huge changes for this XT6 like we got that refresh on the XT4. But we get that 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And this one stickers right at $69,165. But as we get around to the front end here, one of the things that gets us close to 70 grand is gonna be that premium headlamp system. So we get the upgraded LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, then we have the LED signature lights as well. And just a fantastic look there. And I love the sport mesh grille, like I say in all the other Cadillac reviews. But as we come around to the side, we do get these 20-inch aluminum wheels. And we have the Brembo brake calipers as well. Passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And we do get the Bose Performance Series sound system. Power door lock controls are here. And then we can set our memory seat just by hitting set and then holding the number we want to set it to. And then we have a rear window lock here. We have power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors. One-touch automatic up and down windows up front, express down windows for the back. And then we can pick a side for the power mirrors and adjust using that dial there. And then here we have our power liftgate control, and we can set that, and then we can click it to raise and lower the liftgate. Now here we have our electronic parking brake. You just press that to engage, hit the brake, press it again to disengage. And then we have our gauge cluster brightness there. Heads-up display controls can all be toggled there. There's the hood release. We have a power tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone on my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna check out this second row room. But a huge shout out to Cadillac of Murfreesboro here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But there's a leg room there. So not terrible. I have the seat adjust for someone of my size again, but you do get a third row with this. And then here we have our rear AC controls to get heated outboard seats, 3 stages, and then we can adjust fan direction here. And then fan speed, toggle to auto mode, and then the temperature here. And then down here we have a USB-C, USB-A charge port, little storage pocket here. And then here is the center seat that folds down for the bottle holders. And there's a view of that third row. And there's the leg room back there. So pretty good space back there. And with this configuration, you get seating for up to 7. There's a grab handle there. And then we could probably put 2 metal hanger hooks on there. I don't know if a bigger plastic one could fit on there, but a smaller one could. And I do like that we can lean this seat back. So I have it leaned back now, and I'll show you the difference when I get out. But first, there's a sunshade there. But there's the difference. That's with it back and that's with it up. If we want to get to that back seat, all we have to do is pull that there and it'll fold flat. And we can hop in there. Fuel fillers here, and this takes regular, which I like, as opposed to getting the turbocharged engine, having to put premium in it, or I should say having premium be recommended. But to the back end here, we get our LED tail lamps, dual exhaust there, and as we raise the lift gate here, storage down in there. And it's great that we can also power release the second row, and then we can fold down power, I guess down or up that third row. And there's a bottle holder on each side, USB-C ports, and then a 12-volt back here. But again, Just pull up here and that seat will fold flat. And then you can also do it by lifting this up here, and you can tilt this, and that'll get your third row passengers out a little bit more easy, as opposed to just folding that seat flat. And then to the front passenger seat, power with power lumbar support. For this side as well, the 12 volt underneath there, a little storage hideaway, lockable glove compartment, pretty good storage in there. And then we'll take a look underneath the hood here. And there's that 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6. But let's go ahead and make our way to the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel here, good padding. I like how it feels very nice. And then we do have the SuperCruise indicator there. This does have that SuperCruise option. I think it's like 25 or 2,800 bucks. And then you have the subscription along with that. And then that is the actual sensor there. Turn this off. To the radio here, we get AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, and then we also have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. Navigation system here, and then you can set up a home or just type in an address and it'll start auto populating for you suggestions, and then you can choose from those there. So pretty intuitive system, pretty quick. And then here you can change your language in the system and all of that there. Then you have your apps as well as your vehicle settings that you can change there. Wi-Fi hotspot, climate controls. You do get a video recorder, which is nice. And then we do get the dual zone climate as well as a single zone climate for the back, and that's all automatic, so we can set that to get us to a specific temperature, set that auto mode there, and then turn that off by adjusting the fan speed. We have controls for fan speed and temperature here, and then if you want to change direction, you just go into the screen there, and you can also change the fan speed or the temperature there. And then you can cut the whole system off from both places. So I like how it's set up all together. There's our backup camera there. Guidelines follow us as we turn the steering wheel. We have curbside view cameras as well. And we also have a front camera. So we can toggle that and turn the guidelines on and off here. But lane keep assisted, lane departure, hazards, and all this is just kind of soft touch. And then auto stop, parking sensors, and self park. All of those are there. But to the shifter, hit this button here, pull down for drive, then you can tap for manual, tap for neutral, then hit the button again, pull all the way up for reverse, press P for park. And then we can also, if you don't want to use a touch screen, have a little knob here that we can use. And it's actually a pretty smart way of doing this, because the way that the actual screen is set up, it's not like BMW or Mercedes where you have stuff hidden everywhere and you have to go through 10 different menus. Everything's very simple here, but it just makes it that much easier to scroll through the options that you do have. And you're not having to go through 10 different steps to connect your phone. But volume knob is here. You can click that for mute. And then audio, nav, phone, shortcuts there, and then a back button here. And then you can also use this to go through your presets there. Traction control, and then we can stow this bottle holder duo here, and then go through the drive modes there. You get Tour, all-wheel drive, Sport, off-road. Then our center console cubby space is here. Removable tray, and then the SD card reader for the navigation. Then you have a USB-C, USB-A port there. And then you have your hidden wireless charging pad there. You can just slide your phone in there, no problem. But here we have our rear camera mirror. We can turn that on and off. And then we'll slide this back. There's tilt once and then hold it to slide it back, and then hit it one more time to get it all the way back. Then you have all of that fresh air coming in. And then we have our interior motion there, and then we can turn that on and off. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And then back to the steering wheel. Blinker there, low beams, auto, and then we can turn the auto on and off. The automatic high beams, we can toggle there. And then when the headlamps are on, we can toggle the high beams and then flash there. Now for the windshield wiper controls, that's one time. Now this is off here, then auto, low, high, and we can adjust the auto wiper sensitivity there. And then we have off, intermittent, on for that rear wiper, and then pull back for the rear wiper fluid, push up for the front wiper fluid. Paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, cruise control, you can do all of that. So we set the cruise here, adjust speed, cancel, turn the cruise off. And then for the SuperCruise, you turn that on and then hit this button here. And then when it's available, it'll allow you to use that. And then the gap adjust for the cruise and forward collision alert. Heated steering wheel toggle is here. This is a Bluetooth button and mute button, voice recognition there. And then we can go through our track list or radio station favorites here. And then volume controls. And then all of this can be used to go through the gauge cluster. So we have these arrows and the scroll bar. You can click the scroll bar to go further into a menu. So units, we can change that to metric if we want to. Info page options, we can set up what we want to look at there. And all that's under that. And then we can also toggle the heads-up display, whether we want to display the speed sign or not. So there's a quick look at that. And then we can change the info, adjust the brightness, and then adjust where it is. But there's the push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 XT6 Sport out on the road for a quick test drive. So starting the test drive here in the XT6 Sport, pretty comfortable ride. Just a platform that's set up here. This is one of the best riding vehicles that I've been in. Just very smooth, very comfortable, while still being able to feel the road. But we're gonna give it just a little bit of throttle here in all-wheel drive mode. And the 9-speed shifts very smoothly, but it's also, it can be sporty when you need it to as well. I'm gonna get over here and test out the SuperCruise real quick. Hit the wrong button there. So you're supposed to be able to use your SuperCruise here. But for whatever reason on newer vehicles, it always likes to not act right. I'm sure it's a setting or something that's not on. But anyways, the SuperCruise is a great system, and I've done that in plenty other Cadillacs to demonstrate. But one of the best semi-autonomous systems out there, in my opinion. Just very smart, while also not thinking that it's necessarily smarter than you are as the driver. Now for the paddle shifter, it's pretty easy to use. You can turn those on and off as you want to, or just go into your straight manual mode. And then to get that off, you just have to put it in drive. But love the vehicle just in terms of how luxurious it is, how simple it is. And it's easy to drive, it really is. Now for a $70,000 vehicle, I think where this thing lacks the most is performance, but I think there's a big market for people who want something that's luxurious as this XT6 is, and they don't necessarily want twin turbo V6s or these fancy engines that you get from Mercedes, BMW, Audi. And this is a good option if you just want a naturally aspirated V6, something that gets relatively good fuel economy and doesn't have a lot of crazy stuff going on. It's just simple to drive. And there's something about having a sophisticated and subtle look as opposed to something that pops out. And that's where this thing shines as well. Just having a luxurious interior, nothing too crazy. I would like to see that OLED screen that we have in the Escalade here, or that 33-inch screen that's in the refreshed 24 XT4. But other than that, I mean, this is still a great system. The screen's small, but it's only because we're used to huge screens now. And this still does everything I need it to do. Now, as for the SuperCruise, that's one of those things where once you get it set up, it's pretty flawless, but just every so often, for whatever reason, when I'm driving these fresh off the lot, they're just, I don't know if the car's getting warmed up or what, but it just doesn't want to act right all the time. But it could be where I have the lane keeping system on too, I don't know. Which that actually has been doing a pretty good job. Better than what I'm used to the lane keep system from GM being, so you still have that regardless whether you can use your SuperCruise or not. But overall, just it's got the powertrain that's offered in the Enclave, the Traverse, the Acadia, and it definitely gets the job done, especially with this all-wheel drive system. And then the Sport mode just takes it up a notch in terms of the revs, but I didn't necessarily want to put my foot into it, again, with it only having a few miles on it. But a very luxurious 3-row SUV if you don't want something that looks crazy and accelerates crazy. And this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2024 Cadillac XT6 Sport.